it's Becca. So I have been working on a really fun sketchbook project recently about animals of the Southwest. And you know, I love drawing animals, but I'm not quite done with it, and I wanted to do one video that was kind of a grand reveal. So instead, I'm gonna give you guys a little tour of my very small studio slash workspace. It's kind of like MTV Cribs, but everything came from Craigslist and literally nothing's fancy. So let's do this. So this is my workspace. In case you didn't know, I have been working as a freelance graphic designer slash illustrator for the last 3 years from this space. It functions both as my workspace and also as my art space, so it really has to be functional to do both of those things. Also, the third thing being it has to be functional as my plant graveyard. All right, let's check out my desk. So this is obviously my desk. It is really beat up. It's a super old desk, but I'm very attached to it because if you're a small person like me, you know how hard it is to find a desk, really any kind of furniture, that fits. So this desk has a really low keyboard tray and it is the perfect height for me. In terms of the tech stuff going on here, I used to work on a laptop, but now I am 100% addicted to working on a giant screen. So this is an iMac. It is about 3.5 years old at this point, and it's still super reliable. It's a great computer. I don't think I could ever go back to using a laptop. Ever since I had this, I'm kind of hooked. I also have a keyboard, obviously, and a little kind of backup ergonomical mouse, but for most of my work, I actually use this Wacom tablet as a mouse. Like a lot of people with computer jobs, I have had a lot of wrist problems over the last basically 4 years, so I have been using this to reduce my wrist strain, and I also wear a wrist brace. This is an Intuos Pro Medium. It's old, maybe 4 or 5 years old, but it works great. It doesn't have a screen on it, it's just a regular tablet. It's pretty inexpensive, and for me, it has worked wonders on decreasing the strain in my arms and my wrists from working. So this is my office. Now we can go check out my art studio. So you probably recognize this. This is where I do all of my art stuff. It's a very small table, but it works great for me. If you watched my videos from a long time ago when I was doing Watts, it was kind of a saga to get here. I first started with using sort of the more traditional style of putting the board on my legs and resting it against a surface. But after a while, I was getting these really big bruises on my legs, and I didn't really want to get a drawing horse because I felt like they took up a lot of space and really kind of only had one purpose. So I bought an easel. That also did not work. Very uncomfortable for drawing, really made for painting, as I should have thought through before I bought it. But ultimately, I landed on the holy grail of tables, this tiny, super cheap $50 drafting table. I love this thing. It's super small. It can angle up and it can angle down. I can use it for kind of the more traditional drawing style. I can use it for this. I can basically use it for anything I want to do. And as far as I'm concerned, this thing is totally worth its weight in gold. That being said, it's cheap, it's flimsy, so really it wouldn't be worth that much in gold. Yeah. So one more thing I wanted to show over here. I keep this display full of my own artwork, which seems kind of vain, but I have a good reason. So if you make your own art, you know how easy it is to have a bad drawing day or a bad art day and then immediately think, oh, I'm a bad artist or I'm bad at drawing because I had a bad day. So for me, in order to kind of keep my confidence up and remind myself that I am in fact improving, it's super important to actually be able to see work that I've done that I like, or work that I've done that shows improvement or is sort of in a style that I want to go. And it reminds me that my quality of work is based on my best work, not my worst. Okay, so I got this little lamp on Amazon. It's very handy. It's nice because you can change the direction and the color temperature and the brightness. So nice little lamp for not too much money. So I'm an artist. Obviously I have a skull. I'm pretty sure it's not an art studio unless you have a skull. And of course I have my Sorrow head that I got when I was working on Watts. This is a really awesome tool. It's good for learning the basic planes, and also helping yourself with lighting on your own creative work. Awesome thing to have. I have a really small book collection here. I am not a collector. I try and keep things pretty pared down, as minimal as possible. But I do have some children's books that I really love that I find very inspiring, as well as more technical books, some more design-based and some more fine art-based. And this is my art treasure chest. This is full of different kinds of tools that I have used over the years for studying art. I've got some ellipse templates. This was for Drawbox. And a little cylinder model that I made to help understand and visualize how the degrees of the ellipses change in perspective. A grayscale value finder. And some pelvises. These are little models that I made out of yogurt containers to help me understand the shape of the pelvis, which is pretty complex, even in its very simplified form. That was for Proko. And I also have a little bean model, which I raved about a few months ago, maybe a year ago. This exercise was so helpful for me and so important in my understanding of the human body. But basically this top part is the torso and the bottom part is the pelvis, and it helps you understand the effects of twisting and bending based on how the human body moves. So super awesome tool. And last but not least, some toys. I use these for Drawbox because I am I don't want to say very bad, I am improving slowly at drawing vehicles, so it was really useful to have smaller size models because the way we perceive vehicles, the perspective is so different than when you look at a small thing. So for me, it's helpful. These were really helpful for understanding the shapes of these things and how to draw them in perspective. So as you've probably seen, I definitely prioritize functionality over decor in this room. But there are a few things in here that I really love, little pieces of art from other people that I know or that I follow, some things of sentimental value, just little items of decor here to, spice it up a bit, add a little flair. When I moved into this room, all the furniture was here and it had a really, really unfortunate wood laminate surface. And I wanted to buy new stuff, but ultimately I ended up just repainting the stuff that I had and refinishing it because I knew any money that I didn't spend on furniture, I could spend on art stuff, and to me that is always a really good trade-off. So I repainted these, made the handles out of some old belts, very Pinteresty, and I tiled one of the tables so that I could put my plants on it. So, and in the end I really like how they turned out, and I saved a lot of money on that. Right this way, this is kind of my messy area. Because I work in here and I have my computer, I try to keep my messy stuff away from my sanitary area. So this has paints and brushes, charcoal, gloves, turpentine, all the dirty stuff, my apron and whatnot. That stays over here. And next to it, I have my paper station, which I used much more in the past when I was selling art prints. So this is a little cheapie from Amazon, works great. And this is kind of your more classic art school style X-Acto blade cutter scenario. All right, that is my whole space, my whole office slash art studio slash workspace. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it gave you a few ideas for your own space, and I will see you guys next time.